Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we give you an update on Nabi. Nabi will not be available for our game, and I'll tell you why. And we also have an update that was updated by Soccer Beat, not the place that I trust the most, but they had an interesting update on the Kaizer, the striker. A lot of Kaizer Chiefs fans want Zamovic, who played for TS Galaxy. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. As you can hear, Flu is dealing with a brother. Nyakula, guys, so subscribe so I can get medication. Yabona, everyone who subscribes takes me towards being healthy. Nyabong. So when I get to 10,000, I'll be cured of all diseases. But let's get into it. Nabi will not be on the bench on Sunday when we take on Stellenbosch in, I believe, Athlone. Right? Tickets are sold out, so please don't go and foster yourself into the stadium, please. So, Chiefs will not have our head coach, which is an interesting thing because I'm not someone who does conspiracy theories, but let me give you some insight. So basically, what happened is Nabi apparently it's a statement that Chiefs released. You can find it on Chiefs socials, etc. But basically, Nabi, his wife apparently got into an accident. It didn't really specify what accident, and his wife got in an accident in Tunisia. And so it's been a family emergency, and Nabi has basically decided that he's going back to Tunisia to be with his wife. And the thing is that the statement that was there, it was kind of like, Nabi coming back to South Africa, there's no timeline. It will depend on the health of his wife. So that was, in essence, how it came across. And now the second part of this is, before this accident, right? Before this accident, there have already been rumors that there's a very big chance Nabi does not start the season. But people didn't know why. Is it management, whatever the case may be? But there were already rumors circulating that from sources. Let's say sources. If any of you know someone called Innocent Mkiza who's on Twitter, he is the one who said Nabi will either not start the season or he won't end the first half of the season. That was a statement that he put out there. And if you want to know about Innocent, he generally breaks a lot of stories before they happened, like the Shinga story he broke, etc., etc. So now when there was a whole debate, I think, on social medias when the statement came out that Nabi may not start the season, and a lot of people didn't understand, like, what does it mean, etc., etc. Now, all of a sudden, Nabi's wife has had an accident, and Nabi has to rush to Tunisia, and there's chances that he won't come back anytime soon because of that accident. So now it's like, is it a coincidence that just a few days or weeks before this was reported that Nabi won't start the season, and now this accident happens and he won't be on the bench on the weekend? Like, are these things coincidences, or is management covering something up even bigger? Like, for example, if Nabi is saying he won't be on the bench, if Nabi himself tells Kaizer Chiefs management that, I won't be on the bench this coming until I get my players. Let's say Faisal Salum or whatever, until I get my players. And now he's saying, I am going back to Tunisia. You guys will let me know when you are ready to have a serious conversation. That's also a possibility. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying this accident comes at a things are just happening conveniently in the same timeline where people said Nabi won't be on the bench on Sunday. And now Vele, he won't be on the bench. But it's for a reason that no one expected, meaning the accident. Now the thing is that the accident can actually be very real. And Nabi can be going to Tunisia because of the actual accident. All of that can be very true. Or the story of the accident is a way to hide the fact that there's the Chiefs and Double Nabi, and Nabi is unhappy, or there is something wrong. But the thing is that it would be weird to include specifically his wife. You know, when you say his wife had an accident. If you wanna use an accident as an excuse, you would more rather say he's having a family emergency and just make it in general or whatever. But this time when you specifically say wife, hey, it makes it sound like this thing is a real thing. And maybe his wife has been sick or whatever for a while now, and that's what caused doubt that Nabi will remain at Chiefs. That's also another reason. It could be that the rumors came out that Nabi won't be on the bench because Nabi Vele, his wife, has not been well, and Vele, he would end up leaving. Right? And another thing that we picked up and saw is that in the preseason, Cedric Kaizer looked like he was head coaching some of the games. Nabi would just chill in the corner and Cedric Kaizer would basically head coach some of the games. And that's also another interesting thing I picked up. So it could be true, it could be false. We don't know at this point. We don't know. But that's the news that came out about Nabi. We go to the story of these youngsters that people are saying could be leaving Kaizer Chiefs. There's a lot of them. Some with maybe good reason. Others, I don't know what Soccer Beat was reporting, but they reported it. So the first one is Ozena, the guy they call Pilembe. That guy who looks like billiard to me. Oh, he looks like billiard. They call him Pilembe, but he looks like billiard. That guy, he is basically wanted by Amazulu. Why Amazulu specifically? Because he's been with Othazwane and all of that stuff. So Othazwane wants to use him, and there's a chance that that boy may go to Amazulu to get game time. The next player is Shabal. So that one is possible. That one is very possible. That one I can't rule out. The next one is Shabal. Apparently there's been some uncertainty because Mdu and his camp don't feel that he's going to be a first team player, and they feel like his progress needs first team football. I don't know what that means. That's why I'm like, this one, I didn't even want to entertain it, because realistically Mdu is going to be playing this season. He may not be starting all the games, but realistically he is one of our base players, so he will be playing this season. I don't know what more. If this is true, I don't know what Mdu's camp wants. But anyway, the next guy is Samkelo Zwane. Apparently, the Chiefs is trying to loan him out and stuff like that. I say rather that I wouldn't even waste time out. Loan him out today. Today, not tomorrow, today. That one needs to just go and play football. And yeah, maybe he must just go play in another. He must have a change of scenery. This thing of being too relaxed at Chiefs, it's not the one. So that's the update of these players that Soccer Beat gave. It's going to be interesting coming up when we're going to play against Stellies. I'm not scared of Stellies. I feel Stellies is beatable. I wonder if Nabi not being on the bench will actually help the team. I think we remember there was a patch in the season where Nabi was not on the bench and the team actually played well. And then there was like a conspiracy theory that said Kaizer Chiefs is actually better with Nabi, and Nabi is the one who is a problem. So it will be interesting to see if that is true. Because, for example, if Nabi stays away from Chiefs for the next month, let's say for the whole of August is with his wife, and then Chiefs wins all their games in August, the question is, as Chiefs, would you call back Nabi? I'm just asking. Would you call back Nabi if you see, do we need this guy? Because the guys who are here are actually working well. And you'll find maybe they are not forcing Nabi's style of play too much all the time and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see Amakhosi basically taking control. And also, I wanted to say, that striker, Zamovic, I don't know if we're going to sign him. The guy doesn't even have an agent, so it's nicer to negotiate with him. He just wants to bring his family. Would I sign him? Yes, I would sign him as a backup striker or a number one striker. I think he would eventually just be a number one striker. But I'd sign him to a similar deal to Flavio's deal, where I give him a 1 year plus a 2 year option. I'd give him that. But I trust that guy. That guy, I think he would come in and he would be an instant hit. Yeah, Amakhosi for life.